What's going on, y'all? YouTube world, all of that good stuff. Um, yeah, man, I just wanted to take this second to expose, I guess you can call this a scam alert or whatever you want to call it, but, um, man, I got scammed, bro. I got scammed, man, and I normally don't get scammed. Um, I've never been scammed ever, bro, but this is a good one, man. I caught it early, but I mean, by the time I caught it, like, I'm going through the shit to kind of get my money back in my account. It wasn't no major money, no hella money like that, no way. But it was over the Jordan 1 University Blues. So they everybody just want $500 for these shoes, and I can't do it. I'm a shoe dude. I love shoes, and I'm not even a Jordan 1 guy, but that color combo is so stupid. Actually, powder blue is my favorite color, so like, yeah, them Jordan ones, them motherfuckers was clean. The color on the shoe made it clean. So I'm going through hell and high water trying to find these shoes. Everybody want 500, and nobody's even negotiable on it. I don't even want to pay $300 for the shoes to keep it G with you. I mean, because the resale, I mean, the retail on the motherfuckers is $170. So like, I give a nigga $80 or something over retail, but I'm not gonna give a nigga $300 and $400 over retail and shit like that. Like, this shit is ridiculous. So I'm going to all these different sites, trying to find the shoes. I'm going to OfferUp, um, eBay, just trying to see what I can, see if I can, locate a deal on something. So I go on this site I always order stuff from called Macari. Boom, I see the shoes. Um, and I see people got them for, um, you know, 260. So I'm like, cool, all right, fuck it. That's right in my price range. What I feel comfortable paying for the shoe. Because it's not really that important, because I don't even care for Jordan 1s like that. I don't even really like Jordan 1s like that. But, fuck it, I'll pay, with shipping and everything, it damn near came up to 300. Right up under 300. So, make a long story longer. Um, order the shoes, boom. So what Macari does is they hold the money until, the seller ships the shoe. And once the shoe reaches you, once it says delivered, it's like a timer that starts. You have 72 hours or 3 days to, to check the product out, make sure it's legit and it's as described and all this, everything else before, they release the funds. So the thing of it is, if you check the shoe within a day or so and you check it and it's it's everything you need it to be, it's legit, it checks out, then you rate the seller, and then it automatically, once you rate the seller, it'll release the funds to the seller. So um here's the get down. Um so what these people do is they send you you buy the shoe, they send it to you. What you think they do? They send the shoe. So what happens is, boom, you see that on the app, you can the tracking is attached to the app, so you can see the item move through the tracking system, and you see it, so you following it, you getting the updates. Okay, oh, it's here, it's there. Okay, I see it's coming to LA, you know, and then I look up, and boom, it says item delivered. Okay, item delivered. I'm out, so I'm like, okay, let me sag to the house and check, get my shoes. So I get there, there's no shoes there. There's nothing there. And I'm checking with everybody. You see anything? Anything? No, 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 no. And I'm real good with my mailman. Mailman said, you know what? No, I didn't see no packages for you today. I didn't have to. I said, damn, so how the fuck this go? So, but I've had things like this happen before. So, maybe sometimes it'll show scanned, or it might be on the truck for delivery and it don't get delivered that day because it's just a lot of packages or whatever. So, you give it a couple of days, for the shoe to show up. But like I was saying earlier in the video, now what happens is, once it shows delivered through the app, a timer starts that gives you 72 hours to check whatever the item is, make sure it's legit. or you can dispute it or whatever, ask for a refund and resend it, it back if the shit don't check out. But what happens is, if nothing happens, if you do not respond within 72 hours, the app will automatically release the funds in 72 hours if you don't contest it. So now what happens is, the scam works off of you not tripping right away. All right, sorry about that. I'm at a car wash, and I was sitting in the car trying to make the video, and the people came to wash my car, so I had to get out the car or whatever. But this is the thing. So what happens is, what makes the scam work really good is, when the things don't show up, you don't panic right away, and then you go to the app, and the app says, hey, if it don't show up that day, if it says delivered don't show up, just give it a couple of days, give it a couple of days, and then at that point, then you go check at the post office, and then and go try to locate the package and see what the holdup is. So how the scam works is, you can't give it a few days, because if you do give it a few days, the money will automatically, if you do not dispute or do anything for 2 or 3 days, it'll automatically release the funds to the people. And then what they do is they just simply close the account, kill the account, and then make a new page and repost it and keep running this scam over and over and over again. See, this scam defeats that 2 or 3 days they give you to inspect the item is called the buyer's protection program. If you don't like it, send it back, because they hold the money. But if you don't do anything in a couple of days, it'll automatically just release the funds to the seller. So what happens is, the scam banks on the fact that you don't panic right away when the shoe don't show up, or your item or whatever it is don't show up. You give it a couple of days, because sometimes things get hung up in the mail, and so you don't think there's any fraud at this point, But so after about 2 days, I'm like, you know what? Let me go to the post office. So I go to the post office. And then I get to the window, and I'm like, man, I'm trying to locate my package. It said it was delivered, but it never showed up. So this is basically how I discovered that it's a full-on scam. Because me and someone else ordered a pair of shoes, and I think probably like a day apart from each other. So I get there, the lady says, what's the tracking number? I give her the tracking number, she runs it. She said, oh yeah, it shows that it was delivered. And I'm like, but I said, but it didn't go to my address. I said, no, nothing came to my address. And she was like, well, what's your address? I give her my address. She looked at the screen. She said, oh, no, this ain't where it was delivered at. It was delivered to, and she she gave me the address that was associated with the tracking number that the shipper or the seller sent. And then I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that ain't even my address at all through the app. The app has my address in it, so you can't get that wrong unless you put it wrong, unless you fill the shit out manually and change the address. So the scam is, so then I look, I said, well, what was the weight on the package? The weight said it was 6 ounces. I ordered a pair of shoes. A pair of shoes is going to be about 2 pounds, not 6 ounces. So I had to take a step back and realize, like, wait a minute, was that the wrong address on accident or whatever? And I said, hell no, this was a scam from the gate. Because see, what they did was, when you buy the item, what they did was they put, I don't know, some bullshit in some little package or whatever. This is what I'm assuming, because the package only weighed 6 ounces. So that was like the weight of like a candy bar or 2. So what they did was they used, they found some random address to send this bullshit ass package through, so that it would go, so that the the tracking would start move, so the package would move through the system. And on my phone, I can see that the tracking is moving. So as I see the tracking moving, I'm thinking, okay, everything is good. It'll be here, you know. And when it don't show up, I don't panic right away. I just, oh well, maybe it's hung up in the mail. Meanwhile, the clock is ticking, and when you don't do nothing for a couple of days, the money will automatically go into the people's account. So I'm like, wait a minute. I said, man, and it all dawned on me, I said, man, here's the scam in a nutshell. You order something off Macari. What they do is the tracking number that whatever Macari, whatever tracking number is generated for the item that they sold you, what they do is they send some mysterious item somewhere else so that it would move through the tracking system, so you don't panic, so you don't discover it's a fraud right away. And the fraud works on you not panicking right away that the package don't show up when it says delivered on your phone. So, it moves through the tracking system, it goes somewhere else. And on the app, you don't know, and it doesn't tell you where the destination, the destination on the address is. You just know it came to Los Angeles somewhere. You know what I mean? And so going to the post office, and the lady had told me the address it went to. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, wait a minute. Let me go get at my other person who ordered another pair of shoes. We ordered them on the same day. And so we like, wait a minute. Let me see your tracking number too. So we went back to the lady like about 20 minutes later and said, hey man, do me a favor. Run this tracking number and see what's the address that this one is going to, the other pair that we ordered. And lo and behold, it was the tracking number, but the fucking address was a completely different fucking address, completely different, so that it would move through the tracking system, it would show delivered, and the time would start ticking on the funds automatically being released, because if it don't show up the first day or two, and then when you go to the app, it says just give it a couple of days, and then if you don't get the package in a couple of days, then to go check with your postmaster or whoever who's handling the package to try to locate the package. They leave the burden on the end, on the customer to locate your own package. But I guess cool. So, but by this time, you finally just like, well, man, it's been a few days. Let me go check on it. The funds are automatically deposited into these people's account, and once they do that, it's like hard to fucking get your money back. So that's what's going on, man. So that's the scam in a nutshell. Like, you order something. What they did was they used those Jordan 1s as a bait item. They knew everybody wanted them, and it was it was a shoe that everybody wanted. Everybody want to pay. Well, everybody's paying $400 and $500 for them. So they just make the shoe a little cheaper than what everybody else wanted, so everybody will fucking buy them from them. And it's just a complete scam. You buy it, they take the tracking numbers associated with that item, and they put a completely different address, and send something that costs $2 or $3 to ship, because $2 or $3 ain't shit when they're gonna get $250, $260 from you. So they ship something to an unknown location, a random address. Oh, and another thing, I went to the address where they said the shoes was shipped to, because I had the address, and the people were fucking flabbergasted. It was like, nah, nothing came here, nothing came, you know what I mean? So I'm like, damn. So the package didn't even arrive. But what they doing is they're sending something to another location with your tracking number, so that it would show on your phone that your package is on the way to you. And then when it don't show up, or when it's, you figure it's a mix up, or maybe it's just a delay. But by it being a delay, that clock is, once it says delivered, the clock starts to tick on them. If you don't respond, or you don't rate the seller, it'll just automatically release the funds to them in a couple of days. So, a couple of days, you don't panic. You just, maybe it's hung up, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. And even if you do go to the post office, they'll say, okay, well, give us a day or two, we'll locate it, we'll try to figure it out. But what happens is that time is ticking, the fucking money just automatically released to the people. And they just keep running this play over and over and over. They just send something so that so they can tie the money up and create a mix-up, so that about the days that it take for the money to automatically transfer into their account, that they need to send, use a tracking number so it sends something somewhere else. You don't know it's a mix-up, or you don't think it's a scam right away, and then the time that you're waiting to hopefully well, maybe it's a mix-up, it's this and it's that. The time will just expire, and the money automatic deposit in their account before you realize the whole thing is a scam. So, I know this was a lengthy video, and I normally don't even make these videos, but y'all gotta watch out for these scams. And what happens is, one of the telltale signs after I got scammed, I went back on the site, and I see that this person is just reposting these shoes, and they're selling them for like odd numbers, like $233, $268, $237. They're like, it's like weird numbers, and it's only going to be that one shoe on there, and you're going to see that they just made the page, or just made the profile or the account to sell, to run that scam on. And when what they do is they'll make a page, and they'll post maybe like 10 pairs, or pictures of 10 pairs of shoes on it. And what they do is you look up, and then, because they're so cheap, you look up in a few hours, and they've been and sold them all. And what happens is nobody knows it's a scam. About the time they realize it was a scam, like, they're out of the money, because, like I said, the scam works on the fact that, hey, if it don't show up, if it says delivered and you don't see it at your doorstep, you don't panic right away. You just, maybe to come tomorrow, or, maybe come the day after, before you really start to get up and start to look for the package. And then once you start looking for the package, you find out that it was a mix-up. They sent it to a whole complete address, don't have nothing to do with your address, but it's attached to your tracking number, so that your tracking number to show that the item is moving through the system. So you think everything is legit. And it just tends to look like a mix-up, but it's not. It's really a scam, bro. So, yeah, man, just to the YouTube people, man, just be aware out there when you're out there buying stuff, man, and just look for stuff. If you're buying, look for sellers that's got a history of selling. You see other items on a thing, and they got a history of selling things, and then you go from there. But if you see something that just popped up, and it's that one shoe or that one item, like a PS5, and the price is a little lower than everybody else, and it's just that one thing, and it looks like they just made that page just to sell that one item, or it might be, hey, I have several of these items, I have several PlayStation 5s, and and they're selling them for $450 when everybody was wanting $1,000 for them. You know what I mean? So what happens is they've been and sold all them PlayStation in about an hour, and then you look up, everybody's wondering, like, well, what happened to the PlayStation 2? Everybody's running around trying to find a PlayStation that said delivered, it never showed up. Some days went by before you realize to get your ass up and go check the post office. By that time, the money automatically deposited in people's account, and then they just shut their account down, open a new one up, and run the play again. And they just do that over and over and over again. So, word to the wise, man. Be careful out there, man. Man, I'm out of here, man. I know I rambled for about 20 minutes, but I had to get this off, man, because it's a clever scam, man. It's really, really clever. So, all right, man, y'all take it easy.